Hey, what's up everyone? So in today's video, I wanted to do a quick unboxing of my new Nikon Z6 that I just picked up. Now, I picked it up with the FTZ mount adapter and a XQD memory card because this camera doesn't take standard micro SD cards anymore. And this is a pretty expensive memory card. But before I get into the unboxing, I wanted to talk quickly about why I purchased this camera. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of Nikon lenses, and that's because I own the Nikon D800, which is this is currently filming on. And the problem with this camera is that it's absolutely amazing in photography, but it's quite horrible with video. It doesn't shoot 4K, and it doesn't have great autofocus. But I didn't want to have all of my Nikon lenses that I've invested so much money in over the years go to waste. So I got the Z6. But I wanted to go through these lenses real quick, and then I'll put them off to the side. So first, I have this one, which is the 24-70 f2.8, and I'll put that to the side. And I love that lens. It's probably the one that I use the most. I have this 70-200 f2.8, and I have a whole bunch of prime lenses, and these are just manual focus prime lenses, and great for photography, but kind of useless for video unless you're capturing objects that are not moving. And this is a notable mention, which is one of my favorite lenses. It's really old, but it's the Nikon 50mm f1.2 prime lens, manual focus as well. So now those are out of the way. Oh, and I'm filming on the Nikon 14-24 f2.8. So because those are out of the way, I wanted to talk about my little Canon camera here. Now, this is the Canon M50, and I purchased this recently just to do video on. And it's a great entry-level camera that I'm sure all of you have heard about, and it's great for videography. But I've noticed that it doesn't do very well in 4K, and you might have noticed in some of my other videos that it doesn't focus very well with 4K. It focuses amazingly in 1080p, but not too much in 4K. And for this one, I just have the kit lens, and I have this 22mm f2 prime lens, and all of that has autofocus. So this has been a great camera, but because of its lack of 4K autofocus capabilities, I needed to get something better, and I didn't want all of my Nikon lenses to go to waste. So in comes the Z6, and today I'm going to unbox it. So first, I'm going to put both of these accessories to the side. Now, the FTZ adapter just allows me to use all of my Nikon F mount lenses with this new Z6 that takes the Z mount lenses. And like I said, this XQD card is mandatory for this camera. And in some regions, this camera actually comes with this card. And that's amazing because this card cost me 200 Canadian dollars just to buy separately. So, and it's only 64 gigabytes. I think the 32 gigabyte version is still about 120, 130 bucks. But look at that. It has 440 megabytes write speed and 400 megabytes read speed. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. That's extremely fast compared to our old micro SD cards, which cap out at about 100 something. So without further ado, this is the Nikon Z6 unboxing. So opening up the box, and I apologize if the autofocus keeps coming in and out, but that's the D800 autofocus for you. So you have some warranty cards and some instruction manuals. Put those to the side. We'll open up this box. And inside, we have some cardboard. I believe this is the camera body itself, and it is. So take that out gently. And this is the first time I'm opening this box, so you're experiencing it with me in real time. So here it is. That's the Z6 body. Now, one thing I've heard a lot of other reviewers talk about is just how good this hand grip feels in the hand. So let me confirm. Yeah, that feels good. because it's so deep in, because of how thin this camera body is, when you wrap your hand around it, you have so much grip to play with. So this is the top. It has that LCD screen, the viewfinder, and this is a touch panel. Here's the bottom, the side with all the ports. So we have HDMI, we have a microphone, we have a headphone, and I heard that these ports open nicely and that these flaps don't get in the way. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, so these, I mean, it works pretty well. So in here we have seems to be a USB-C. We have is that mini HDMI? Not micro, right? It's not the smallest one, it's the mid one. And we have another port here, I believe for transferring data or maybe charging, I'm not sure. I think that's the charging port. And I've heard that you're able to charge the battery when the battery is in the camera, but you're not able to use the camera while it's charging or something like that. So it's not that great for streaming. I won't do any streaming with it, but it, you know, if you guys are wondering. And then you have the headphone and you have the mic jack. And on the bottom here, it does, if you see that, it does show that it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which is great because on my D800, a lot of the newer features are lacking. Look at the front, and that's the Nikon Z mount, Z6, and on this side, oh, this side. So we have the card slot. We open that, and that's where the XQD card will live. And there's no dual cards in this camera, and some people have bashed it for that, because in this range of camera, it'd be nice to have dual cards, but I guess not. I believe this screen comes out a little bit, just like that. It doesn't fold, so that's the angle that it'll fold at. And it doesn't fold all the way down. That's as far down as it'll go. And you're experiencing this, I mean, this is my first time holding and playing with this camera. Okay, and the top. All right, that's enough. So I'm gonna set this to the side. Let's see what else is in the box. So this is all just cardboard. And in this little compartment here, we have the battery charger. And I believe this uses the same batteries as my D800. So I have a ton of those batteries lying around. Okay, set that to the side. And we have what seems to be USB to USB-C cable. Okay. We have the yellow Nikon strap. It says Nikon Z on it. The battery. I wonder why my autofocus stopped. Yeah, so the autofocus just stopped for some reason. So I think I'll have to stop and start again. Yeah, it's not autofocusing. That's good, D800. Now we're back. And there we go, the autofocus started again. So I don't know what happened. But as you can see, the autofocus just crapped out. Like it just stopped completely, even holding down the shutter button. So again, I'm filming on a D800. It's an older camera. And we have some clips here, and I believe these go on the side, clip to the camera side, just to hold all of the wires and connections in place. Set that to the side. And we have a power head adapter. That's interesting because I didn't see a power cable, but it has this power head adapter. And I believe that's it. There's nothing else, that's just cardboard. So that's all that's in that box. Set that to the side. Now I want to open up this adapter. So this is the FTZ mount adapter. So it's just F to Z mount. Let's open this up. So inside, have some manuals. Of course, set that to the side. We have some bubble wrap, and that's it. So inside the bubble wrap, we have a mount adapter. That's what that looks like. So that says Nikon F mount. Side says Nikon FTZ. And on this side it says Nikon Z mount. All right, so I'm going to attach this to the camera. So we have the Z6. Let's see how I can do this on camera. So this side is the Z mount. So undo that. Let's see how it looks inside. And you might even be able to hear this D800 autofocusing. It goes absolutely nuts, especially when things are moving. Okay. That in. So you match the white dots, click it in. It's pretty securely on. Okay, and then this side will go to one of my F mounts. So just so we don't make this thing too big, I'll use the 24-70 2.8. And I've thought about purchasing the Z6 with the kit lens, which is also a 24-70 Z mount f4. And obviously it's not as good as this lens, but it's a lot smaller. I think it's like, it only goes up to here or something. But I heard the build quality doesn't feel that great, but I feel, and I've heard, that the autofocus would be faster on the Z mount lens, the kit lens. Now I think they also have a 24-70 f2.8 Z mount that just came out, but that'll be pretty expensive. And having this F mount 24-70 2.8, I don't think it's necessary. So let's attach this. And look at that. And I will just assume that this will work. Okay. So now this is, I mean, you would probably walk around just holding the lens. I mean, this is completely off balance compared to the D800. But you know, even just holding it, so I'm just gripping it with one hand now, it feels pretty good. I think only because this grip mount is so big on the side. If I was to do the same thing with the M50, oh, I definitely wouldn't be able to hold it. I mean, just look at that profile difference. I'm gonna try to get it top-down view. So that extra little bit on the Z6 definitely feels a lot safer in the hands. Oh yeah, I mean, you definitely feel a difference. I'll get all this stuff out of the way. Okay, and we're doing this in real time, so sorry if it's progressing a little bit slow. So next, we'll have to open this memory card, the XQD memory card. And this is the one by Sony. Like I said, 200 Canadian dollars. It's not cheap. I feel like we're getting back into the 2000s with micro SD cards and how expensive they were back in the day. I have this little scissors. And I'd be very excited to see how the autofocus behaves on the Z6. And I think once I get it set up here, I'll be able to do a quick comparison and put that into this video. Okay, so we open it up. And there's just some instructions here. And this box, let me tell you, this box feels super premium. Like all these other boxes, this FTZ mount box, I mean, this is just a normal cardboard box, but this, you know that they feel bad for charging you $200 for this new memory card. So they made this matte, you know, like almost like leather feeling box. I mean, it feels really nice, but that's, I mean, this is like $40 on its own, just the open box. So you have the instructions. And you know what? I think my autofocus just stopped again. Look, I'm trying to focus and it's not going. So I'm gonna have to reset this again and cut it and then make a new video. 1 sec. Okay, so now we're back. And look, autofocus works again. So again, good job, D800. And I'm being more and more reassured by the minute that I made the right choice going with this Z6. Okay, so it comes in a little case, some other instructions and maybe some warranty information. I'm gonna put all that to the side. I'm sure nobody cares about that. Here's the memory card. 64 gigabytes, 440 read speed, 400 megabytes write speed. Now that's really fast. I mean, we're getting into like M.2 SSD territory now. Okay, so it's a really good quality feeling SD card. There we go. It's by Sony. All right, so we're gonna put that in to the Z6. That's where the card lives. Front side, just like that. Follow the instructions. Clicks in pretty satisfyingly. Close this. All right. Now the last component to get this thing working is the battery. And let's see if this battery comes with any juice. If not, I have a whole bunch of other batteries that I can just put it in. And I heard that this is different than the Nikon D800 battery in that this is the EL15B, and the old Nikon batteries, I have one right here, are just the EL15, no B. Okay, so something about that. They said that you're not going to get as many shots with the older ones. So the older one is 1,900 milliamp hours. The new one is 1,900 milliamp hours, 14 watt hours, 7 volt. The old one 7 volt. So I don't know. I don't know why they would say that, but the guy at the camera store said that. Oh, my Alexa's talking to me. Okay, so I'm gonna put this battery in now. So on the bottom of the camera, we have a little battery flap. Let's open that. Okay, there we go. And we line this up, put it in, clicks in, close it, and let's see if it has juice. It does not. No juice. Okay, so old battery it is. Let's open this up again. Let it down gently. So in comes old Nikon battery. Okay, now let's try to get it to work with this. In, close. Will it explode? Ready? And it works. There we go. So the LCD on top is lit. Okay, the screen. Let's remove the lens cap. And I have a protector in front by Kenko. See that? There we go. Okay, anyways, here we go. And we're live. And it works. Now, because we have this tilting screen, I can even show you guys as I'm doing this. So if the D800 will focus. This is my first experience with this camera. And I can tell you that on the screen, it's focused perfectly. It's the D800 that's not focusing on the screen. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna swap out. I'm gonna swap over to the Z6. Okay, so with the magic of video editing, and we're back. So now we're filming on the Nikon Z6, and I have the exact same lens on there that I had on the D800, which is the 14 to 24 millimeter f2.8. and I've done nothing to the camera except I've adjusted the volume from the microphone to be manual, and I changed the color setting to natural instead of whatever it was on. So that's it. This is the first time that this camera is recording something. And one thing that I've noticed is the autofocus is much better. Even just setting it up just now. Let's test this. Like, that is way faster, and that's a lot smarter. It's not constantly searching for focus. And I don't have any facial detection or anything like that on. I'm shooting at 1/50th shutter speed and 1080p 24 frames per second. So I just have this. We have the D800, so this guy is probably gonna retire a little bit now. But one thing I wanted to mention is the grip. So the handle grip of the D800 is actually not as nice as the Z6, because I think of how thick the DSLRs are. So the Z6 would go to like here, and you have a lot more space to put your hands in. So this also has this little rubbery feel on it, whereas the Z6, I mean, the build quality just feels a lot nicer. And if you listen closely, I'm sure you can hear the focus motor going. Yeah, like, it's pretty obvious. It just goes tick, 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 tick. And that's because we're using a older f-mount lens on it. And I'm sure, and I've read online, that if you use one of the Z-mount lenses, like the kit lens that it comes with, the focusing is almost silent. So they use some different motors in there. But yeah, first impressions is that this autofocus is a lot better. Not just a little bit better. So I'll just bring some objects up here. Yeah, like, instead of searching for it, like the D800 used to search for autofocus, like, where is it? You know, it would go from one extreme, find it, to the other extreme. But this it just kind of knows exactly where you should set the gears to focus. That is fast. I would say that that's very much on par with the M50. And this isn't in 4K because I was shooting on 1080p in that, so I wanted to keep it consistent for this video. But I will definitely do a 4K test to see how the autofocus is on that. But I've read online that it doesn't have any issues doing 4K autofocus. I mean, this is just, that is really fast. That blows my mind. I mean, imagine if I was shooting this unboxing video from beginning to end on the Z6. I would have so many less headaches because I'm always afraid of things going out of focus when I'm shooting these videos. And it's just trying to hunt for autofocus. But look, I can just do anything, just talk normally, and it focuses. It's just, you hear the motor. Listen. I don't know if you can pick that up, but yeah, I mean, I love this. I love this lens. f1.2, it doesn't get better than that. I might as well just do some other tests and look at my other lenses. So this is the micro lens. This is a 55mm f2.8. See if it picks it up. Oh, look at that. That autofocus is just so fast. I mean, coming from the D800, this is like, I think one of the other YouTubers did this, said this analogy, but it's like going from a Toyota, like a 1990 Toyota, to like a Tesla Model X. I mean, this is just, I haven't messed with any features in this camera yet, and I haven't set anything up. I just powered it on, snapped on my lens, changed the color tone to natural, and started recording. I think the ISO is even on auto right now. This autofocus it blows my mind. I mean, I'm getting so much enjoyment just having it focus on things. The ticking is not great. I mean, if I was wearing an external mic, I do have the Rode Wireless Go mics, but it's attached right above the the lens, so you can still hear it. And the microphones are facing downwards so that I don't, I'm not speaking too loudly into the mics. And in that case, you'll be able to hear the autofocusing motors even more. I mean, we're just in the minimum focus depth now though, but that is fast. Okay, what I want to do is I want to snap on this lens, which is the 24 to 70 millimeter, and do some autofocusing tests with that. So again, magic of video editing. All right, and we're back. So now we're on the 2470 f2.8 lens, zoomed all the way out to 24. And we're going to test the autofocus on this. I'm going to snap this on. This is now on the D800. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That was a little bit slow, but not too bad. Let's see if we can focus on this text here. And it does have tap to focus. So if I wanted to focus on the bands, let's see if it'll do that. Yep. Focus on the text. I'm going to tap the text. I'm going to focus on that. Let me bring in my hand. Tap the SD card. Oh, within the... There we go. Logo. That's fast. I mean, that's Canon, Sony fast. Yes, you get the ticking, but these are also, older technology lenses. Wow. All right, so now we're back on handheld. So I'm just gonna walk around a little bit here and focus on some objects, just handheld. Zoom in. And we're on auto ISO. That's just how it came out. I haven't even bothered to change that. Zoom out. Zoom in. Can I focus? Oh, I had to tap the screen for that one. So now it's tracking that object. It's tracking the light bulb. So no matter where I go, even it's on the corner of the screen now, but it's still tracking it. Now if I tap one of the books, now it's on the book, Life 3.0, and it's tracking that. So let's swing around. And I was just doing this LG OLED comparison. Man, if I had this camera for that video, it would definitely be a lot nicer. So this is 65-inch LG OLED GX, Sonos Arc soundbar, and this is what this rig looks like right now. I mean, that is, I didn't even have to tap the screen. Now I'm tapping the screen. So let's see if I want to focus on that cross behind me. Will it do it? I know it's in the mirror too. So that did it. Back to me. So tap, 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 tap. That's fast. Wow. I'm absolutely amazed. Let me focus on some small things here. Now we're at ISO 2000. So I mean, the ticking in the motor is kind of distracting, but it's not the end of the world. It's not horrible. I'm sure you can hear it. Nope. So that took a little bit of time there. There we go. I mean, this memory card is getting a lot of attention today. Okay. I'm just gonna tap Z6. Okay, I'm too close. Here we go. that captures focus so well. All right, so enough of that. I mean, this is just the first impressions and unboxing of the Z6, and my desk is an absolute mess, and I didn't want to show you all this, but I really wanted to get some handheld shots with this. And first impressions is, man, I bought this camera mainly for the autofocus and for the full frame sensor. And compared to the Canon M50, which has a crop sensor, I mean, it's great to be able to shoot 1080p or 4K in full frame and have that Canon Sony equivalent autofocus. I mean, this autofocus is great. It's not searching for autofocus. You know, I haven't even played around with the settings yet, but right now it's tracking that Nikon text. So no matter what I do, I mean, it's keeping focus on that pretty well. So I'm moving back and forth. I'm gonna step back a little bit. Let's see if it catches it. I'm gonna move forward. That's quick. So we're at ISO 1000 now. Hey, Sparky, come on. The fish, tap the book, tap the fish. Wow, that's so fast. Absolutely amazed. So now we're in some really direct sunlight, bright light conditions. Focus on these, foreground, background, foreground, background. Wow, that's so fast. Yeah, so I'm very excited to make some more content, 4K content, using this new camera. And I think it's going to do wonders for me in all the videos that I make. And sorry for such a raw comparison video, but this is my first impression on this camera. I've never touched it before. I haven't tried it at the store. My first time putting it in my hands, and I watched a lot of reviews on it. I didn't think that the autofocus would be this good, but if you're thinking about this camera, trust me and trust every other review out there that this autofocus is absolutely amazing, and it's really comparable to both the Sonys and the Canons, and it has 200 something points of dual pixel autofocus, and absolutely great. Now I'm excited to play around with the color profiles and then do some 4K content on this, but this has just been a quick unboxing and first impressions of the Nikon Z6. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this camera, if you'd like me to do any reviews on it, please let me know in the comment section down below. Sorry for not making this video more exciting or something like that, but if you enjoyed the content and if this was helpful, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for more content. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.